Okay, I am back and we are finally here with Windows 8 Consumer Preview. Seeing how it is called Windows 8 Consumer Preview and the previous build was called the Windows Developers Preview without the Windows 8 branding on it, I'm assuming they're going to stick with the Windows 8 name when the actual operating system gets released. Now I'm on Camtasia recording both screens right now, so you'll see that the taskbar is extended. There's one little blatant issue that I can see right now. It's that it is actually using every separate window, such as the recording, which is the section on the right, although that taskbar does happen to be over here also. It does have a blank window, which is the highlights, which actually all three of them are all highlights, but they're all three separate windows apparently. But it's a little buggy. Then again, this was made for Windows 7, not for Windows 8. I did install a few programs before I started this. Of course, Camtasia is an obvious one, so I can take recordings. We also have the XChat IRC client because I actually indeed need to use it for a bit. The Logitech webcam, I did have to do compatible with Windows XP. I wanted to use the microphone initially, but I'm switching to my headset, so that's all fine and dandy. I did also install the live stream Procaster. I was intending to do a live stream, but there are issues with that running on Windows 8. Like, it will only record the right monitor, and that's a bit of an issue for me. And the final application is Google Chrome, because I do find that the better web browser, although we will take a quick look at Internet Explorer. So let's look at the more blatant features that you see when you first start up. Notice that there is no start button, unlike the previous versions. I don't think there's going to be a fix or a hack to restore the start menu, but most people will probably get accustomed to the whole there is no start button setup. So the bottom taskbar is called the super bar, and I guess that has its name for a reason. I don't think there's any feature to, actually there is there? Yes, there is. So if I open Google Chrome and I did the simple trick to clean the taskbar, that does work, but it doesn't do the whole transparency effect. If you did use the developers preview, you'd know that the start button is in here. If you go to the bottom right hand corner, you usually get the whole devices, search, start, and settings, I believe. Now that functionality has been moved to the right bar, all you do is go to the corner. If you do have multi-monitor, you do have to try to access the corner of the primary monitor. You can skip through here, but doesn't necessarily work. There you go here. All the functionality is to this Charms bar. Search, share, start, devices, and settings all over here. All you have to do is go to a corner and just slide up and it will solidify. You go to the corner, you notice that the applications do appear on here without moving there. The start button is the same functionality as you did before. You can either go to the Charms bar and hit start, or you can go to the bottom right hand corner and hit the start application there. When you first start up, you realize you have to go to desktop to access the whole desktop orientation. Now, following the same steps as Android and all, I don't know too much about iOS, but there is a recent application. After to get to your recent applications that you have recently opened. I don't know if I still have them there. Yes, I do. If you can go to your most recent application, and by that I mean the app for the Metro UI. You just go to the top left-hand corner, and that's your most recent UI. If you want to check out more recent, and you drag your mouse down, and it shows you all of this. You can also access Start via this menu. Now, the new Metro UI does have a few new updates to it. One of the built-in is you can change the background, and we'll see that soon. The whole all apps works now, and this is more like the whole start menu of traditional Windows 7, Windows XP, Windows 95, 8, and all the traditional Windows NT start bars. So you can access everything here. They are in their own little sections, so you won't get too lost here. You can also access all your normal applications. Let's go back to the desktop. There are a couple new apps that you see here: music and video, messaging. SkyDrive is now here. SkyDrive is the equivalent of Google Docs and all of that whole setup. And you're able to upload your own documents online and using the online Office apps. Mails, photo, that's pretty new. Camera, I don't know if that means you need to have a built-in camera, but I'm assuming Uh, Um, can camera use your microphone? See, you can obviously see that it's working pretty decently. I do have the webcam here. I did intend to have it for the live setup. Now I'm gonna go back to the desktop. And apparently my webcam is still on. I need to turn this off somehow. Um, I believe all you have to do is, and apparently if you go to the top bar, you can move your application. If you want to close it, that's how you do it. I was seeing this up on the CS. When you are trying to close an application, you simply go to the application. It starts up. If you see the whole window pop up, that means that your application started up again. So I go to desktop, and I go back to camera, and it doesn't do the whole showing you the icon. That means it was previously running. To close it, you go to the top bar and you scroll. You pick it up. You can move it to the side. I believe you can move it to other sides. And if you want to close the application, you move it down to the bottom, and the application is closed. There's also new functionality for Xbox companions apparently there, and there's a couple new apps that you don't see here. The Windows Store is now open. I haven't checked this out myself, so we'll look at it right now. Windows Store allows you to download new applications for the Metro UI or Start menu that you have, and it looks like it has all these new apps that we'll see coming up soon when we'll see who uses the newest apps, and everything will be nice and dandy there. We'll go back to here. So you're also able to do some functionality with changing your background and everything there. If you didn't know, like I said before, when I was on my camera, all the settings did manage to go, were able to revert back to itself. So I do have my account picture here, which was this image. Don't ask what it is. It's some salamander fish thing. It's a fish with hands. So if you want to use the control panel, I believe you just go here and you go to change your account picture, although there should be another way to access that. I do not know how to do that as of yet, but we'll figure that out as we go along. So you can switch your users, add users, and notifications, share, general, privacy, devices, and a lot of fun stuff. Now, I don't know where I know on the developers version there was a control panel app, and on the bottom there was an option to use the desktop control panel. Now how would we do that here? I don't know. Now, one of the new things with Windows 8 is that you have the ability to refresh your PC, as you can clean up the whole system by doing refresh your PC without affecting your files. It keeps all your files, but it refreshes the OS itself, so all the clean installations there, but you'll keep your documents. Now, you can also reset your whole PC back to factory settings, given that your computer started with Windows 8, and set everything all over. I don't think I'm going to press that anytime soon, but we'll have to see. Advanced Startup Features is here. That's a new feature added to the consumer preview. Privacy, I did set this up with all the fun stuff here. I'll see where is the control panel? That is one thing I do want to look up for. And there's an option down here. Oh yeah, keep in mind you still have to drag the bottom scroll bar for mouse and keyboard, which it could have been a bit more convenient if they allowed us to click on blank space and drag left and right, but they didn't do that. One new functionality they do have that's specifically for mice and keyboard rather, is the option to go look through everything here. So you can go to this section or this section, and I guess that's a bit of a plus if you have a mouse and keyboard. Then again, I don't want to think I would want to rely on that. Let's go look at Windows Explorer here. Maybe we can find the control panel on its own. Initially, when you access your Windows Explorer, this is the window that does pop up. The Ribbon UI is still there. If you knew Windows Developer Preview, you know that the Ribbon UI was implemented here. Otherwise, you'll just get the basic what you would normally see in Windows 7, with the exception of the file and everything here. The Ribbon UI is still existent. You can check out things and click them as you go along, or you can drag down the whole Ribbon UI on your own. Now let's see if I can access. No, I still can't access the control panel from here. If I had a computer, there it is. Open the control panel, and you have all your standard settings, and you know how to use the control panel. I'm pretty sure. So that's all nice and dandy. Notice that the Windows logo is here. Let's see if we can open System Properties. It doesn't give us a logo here, but it's the Windows 8 Consumer Preview, and it's build 8250. Let's see how much time I've done there. Fair enough. I'm on 4 gigabytes, and there's no pen or touch input available for this display. Maybe if I move it to this display. Nope, it still doesn't change it. Okay. Remote settings does work. We'll work on seeing if we can do the um, multi-user hack, but I don't want to do it as of yet. Let's see. Standard settings, we have all your moving around of stuff. System protection, and cool. Let's look into... Oh yeah, by the way, there's also a new thing with Windows 8. This was also prevalent and relevant to the developer's preview. There is no prompt for delete unless there was something about a warning with system files or the file's too large to delete. Please let us do this. There's a new folder option here, by the way. And now if I delete, there is no prompt for delete. That was standard. I don't know if there's a setting in the command prompt to change this, but we'll see that as we go along. If you want to access your hidden files, they're all over here. You can hide file extension names and so forth and so on, and we'll keep going on with this little tour. Windows 8 does have a lot of cool functionality, and if you notice that we do have the taskbar on both screens, what I would really like to see is having a time on both of them, but apparently that's not true, and you could also have all the icons on the same bar, and I don't want that. I want main taskbar, or taskbar when the window's open, rather. So if the window's open here, I want it on here. You could also have your standard effect where use small taskbar icons, never combine, and you have your basic Windows effect. You can change what appears on both taskbars, but that's not really what I want here. Now let's go to screen resolution. All the settings here are the same. You could extend the desktop in there. Let's look at personalize and see what they have a default setting for the... No, they don't. Last time they had a default setting for the extended background, so it had a preview of extended background, but apparently they don't have that as of now. So I'll change it to nature really quickly and see how that works out. And apparently it's 2 different backgrounds. That's pretty cool. Or maybe this is 1 background. No, there are 2 different backgrounds, and it's going to keep shuffling. Okay, and Windows color is automatic. Enable transparency. I think I like it if I can change it to completely transparent. Now that's cool. Let's see what else. Gadgets. Gadgets still exist? Wow. They still exist. What do you know? You would think they removed it after being unsuccessful and whatnot, but they're still there. Go figure. Let's look at my CPU right now. CPU is not... whatever. Not like I use these gadgets anyway. Now let's go on to the Task Manager. Control Shift Escape. This is the new Task Manager. It looks a little bit more simplified than what you're used to on Windows 7 and to prior versions. It tells you your CPU. You could just do fewer details and more details, and you'll see it all there. It shows CPU memory and disk network usage. It shows my CPU is only using 29%, memory is being 50%, which isn't too bad because I have quite a lot of it. Performance, you can have all these nice cool line graphs showing you your features and how much usage of the network, CPU, memory, disk, and so on and so forth. And it shows you your app history. I believe these are your apps, not the actual computer applications, but as in the Metro UI apps. Startup, these show up what's on startup. I don't really want that there, I guess. Users shows you what users are on, what memory is being used. Details, I guess details for everything. I believe we could do the... Yes, this is what you're usually used to seeing when you do the processes function on your normal task manager. And services. Although you do happen to see Windows processes and services on the processes tab itself. View, expand all, group by type, status values, update speed. I don't see anything that's different that I can access here, so we'll keep moving on. I want to look at the Internet Explorer. This is the pre-version, I believe it's 10. There's nothing you really need to know, really. I don't want, that's my main purpose for going here. The consumer preview, I don't think there's much of a difference between 9 and 10, although there should be more features regarding HTML5, hopefully. That's probably not what's going on, but we'll see how things play out with this operating system. Let's see what else I wanted to bring out. Let's go bring out the Internet Explorer app itself. I want to review a couple apps. I don't want to set Bing as a homepage. That's a stupid homepage. Okay, there's a fish. Let's see if I can. Okay, see if I go to Google from Bing. See, you can access up here. I want this pinned down because I don't want to pin to start. That's not what I want. I want to see if I could pin this bar down. As you can already see, I'm getting frustrated with this application so far. That's not really working out for me. I believe you could do new tabs. I don't know how to do that exactly. Copy, open link in new tabs. There we go. I still don't see what's going on here. Okay, I don't like this application. We're just going to close it off. That's why I have Google Chrome. Now, the Internet Explorer app, I guess, would be useful if you had a tablet. And I don't have a tablet. Well, a tablet that can run Windows 8 as of yet. But I guess it's useful with all the touch features and whatnot, big buttons, and it's somewhat easier to use. One of the downsides right now, which won't be a problem in the future, is that it does not have any support for Adobe Flash. Now, that's not necessarily a downside because Adobe Flash will be going obsolete with the release of HTML5 by the end of the year. Well, we'll see how things go on and so on and so forth. Let's continue going around with what we can find here. I think that's all I can really say at the moment. Store, there's a 4. I don't know what that means. Oh, and that means there's app updates. Okay. Now let's look at the weather app. I want to see that. That was something I was interested in looking at. So weather app preview, I guess that's what it is. They're really big on these spinning dots thing. Yeah, access my location, fair enough. Okay. Notice that when you do use the web, if you do use the Metro UI, that it does actually show your desktop on the right screen. So if you want to see a desktop application, such as Windows Media Player, as such, and you want to view it on the right screen, and you still want to use Metro UI, that's all nice and dandy. Now, if you had a touchscreen computer on the left side, and then you had your normal desktop on the right side, I think that's a pretty cool application thing too. Okay, now you apparently can see the Bing weather and hourly forecast, see what time certain things are going to happen. Like I said, it would have been nice if they allowed us to scroll on blank space to move on to different bars, but I'm not going to go too far into that. Okay, now that we have the weather app open, I could go to recent applications. No, that's the recycling bin. And move it over here. That's not doing anything. I was trying to test something that I did see on one thing. It's not really working out for me. Okay, that's not really working out. But we'll play around with the features. I'm just going on with what I know. I did not see the preview for the consumer preview itself, so I don't know all the exact features, but I'm showing you what I'm seeing off as I start this application. This is the first boot of the Windows 8 Consumer Preview on this computer, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I did know that the start menu was missing, and we'll see other things that are going on. The whole window thing, it might be an issue, but they made improvements over the developers preview itself. Then again, there was a big month gap: September, October, November, December, January to February, and it's towards the end of February, so you could consider March itself. So about 6-7 months. That's a pretty good deal of what they've done so far. I'm impressed with Microsoft so far. They did manage to turn around with the Metro UI because they did manage to add a couple pluses to it. Now, will they say people aren't going to like the Metro UI all the time? Yes, I was initially a hater, but I had to get accustomed to it because I know this is going to be the future anyway, so might as well go with it. I'm not switching to Mac or anything. And we'll go on with here. I think that's all I can see here. Xbox Live. Ooh, what's this? Solitaire and Xbox Live. Well, so far that's all I see. Ooh, it's a game, so I'm just gonna have to sit this through, don't I? Sign into Xbox Live. I don't really think so. Okay, I'm done here. So, actually I should go back to Solitaire. Close the application. That's really cool how you can close your applications like that. And the stores here, I need to close that. In Explorer. Okay, in Explorer was closed anyway. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and thank you for bearing me with this whole ordeal. I'm pretty sure I did a pretty decent explanation of what's going on in Windows 8, and I'm pretty impressed with myself with all the features that did come out. If you aren't able to view the videos, I will have a separate video for each screen, and those are their own little videos, so you don't have to be completely lost in the dark right now, so don't worry too much about that, and we'll see how things work out. Jan, you're watching an Initiate ID video.